Hello, everybody, and welcome to the experience. This is Talking Shop. I'm not going to explode, I swear. We have some really great interviews lined up. Feels like girl power today because it's all us girls. We're going to start out with a really amazing guest, probably the most talented young person I've ever known. This is Saida Woolf, Soulstream creator. Unless you worry, you're like, oh man, I have to now learn all the names of the people that did the writing and the layouts and the art and the whatever. Nope, one name.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show today.
So I've known about this book for quite a while because I talked with Scout a lot. They're an amazing company. You chose correctly for who to be released by. Did they find you at like a convention showing your work, or did you approach them with your work?
So actually what happened is I drew the first 8 pages of my comic and I just started submitting it to different companies, and they wrote back to me and they said they wanted to publish it, and that is how it all started. So yeah, I submitted to them and they accepted it. And
did they know your age right away?
I think in the submission letter, I included my age. Like I wrote about how my perspective as a 15-year-old at the time, I was 15. I wrote about how my perspective as a 15-year-old affected my comic, and how I felt like I could really connect with a younger audience through that. But yeah, I'm really thankful that everything has turned out the way it did, and now I have my book coming out.
Absolutely.
In September.
So, you yourself, as a fan of comics, were you exposed to like manga first? What was your first comic book experience?
That probably manga. I think you can definitely see there's a lot of that influence in my work. But I also I really love all kinds of comics. I love indie comics just because. I think there's a lot of really neat perspectives you can find there that are really different from what's on the mainstream stuff. And yeah, I love comics as a medium, and it makes me really happy to be able to create them myself.
Do you remember what your very first comic book was?
I don't remember, but I know that I have spent, my entire life I've always loved I've loved stories in every medium, and I love reading books and comics and playing video games and all kinds of stuff. And I think I've always also loved making stories in visual mediums. So I've spent a lot of time drawing pictures, making comics. I've made some small video games. I really want to learn more about animation. But yeah, I really love visual storytelling, just all of the mediums that are contained within that. And I love experimenting with that too.
So are you in school taking art classes, or have you taken art classes, or are you just natural?
I've taken art classes, but I think for the most part I'm self-taught. But yeah, I've just been drawing my whole life, and I'm always working hard to get better. And I think actually making a comic, one of the reasons why I decided I wanted to try to make a comic was just because I felt like it would force me to draw a lot of things that I normally would never draw. Just because, like, if I had my way, I might never draw a background ever in my life. But, like, if you do that in a comic, it just doesn't make sense anymore. So comics are good as a tool for improving your art, and also as a medium for storytelling. And I think they're super great.
They do kind of push you, I agree, because you can't. I worked in comics for a little bit, and sometimes I'd get work from pencilers that was just kind of like, were they expecting me as an inker to fill in that part? Because I'm not an artist in that way. I do like to trace, though, as they say.
Yeah.
So is there any kind of medium for art that you haven't tackled yet that you really want to?
I don't know. I really don't know. I always love trying new things. So I'm hoping that in college I can do more study in animation and 3D animation. I've done basically nothing in the 3D realm at all. And I think that would be really fun to try to broaden my skills with that. But yeah.
So your art that we see in these books is it? So you have it all as practical art. You've got like actual pages.
Well, I do it all digitally. So
okay, you do digitally. Okay.
Yeah. So I draw it all on my iPad, and I had to learn how to use Photoshop to format the colors properly for CMYK printing. That was a whole experience. That was interesting. I did not know what CMYK was before I started doing this, and I have learned so much. And Photoshop. I had to do that.
For anybody that's kind of like wanting to try that out, is it an easy process you can explain really fast?
Yeah, I think so. So basically, computers render colors with RGB, and that's it. It makes the pixels different combinations of red, green, and blue, I think. But but printers use I think magenta, yellow, and cyan, and then a black color. And you have to format your files properly to fit that, when you convert things from RGB to CMYK, they get kind of faded sometimes. So I had to learn how to make my files like from start to finish in CMYK so that the colors didn't get all faded when I converted it. And then if the black lines on the text aren't 100% black and 0% every other value, it creates all these little tiny dots, which is not good. That is not something I want. So I had to learn how to do conversion stuff so that did not happen. And I have learned a lot.
Who knew you'd have to, get part of a degree in graphics arts to render things?
Yeah, but it's good because I'm glad I'm learning all this stuff through this process. This has been really great for me.
So tell us a little bit about Soulstream. What is the basic storyline if you're going to pitch it to somebody that was considering picking it up?
Yeah, so Soulstream, it's a fantasy superhero comic book series for all ages. It's about a girl named Marie, and she and her brother go into the woods. They find a magic portal. They go to another world. It's all very, very good. And then Marie gets a magic bracelet that lets her turn into a superhero, and she and her friends have to save this alternate dimension using their magical powers. And it makes me very happy. I hope that lots of people will read it because I think it's really good. And I've spent a lot of my life on it. So I'm really proud of it.
You should be very proud of it. It's beautifully drawn.
Thank you.
I mean, I knew going in how old you were when you worked on the book, and I still could not tell at all.
Thank you so much.
Your art is much more advanced than what you would expect when you're 15-year-old. So
yeah, thank you.
I can't imagine what it's going to look like when you've gotten, like more advanced in your techniques and those kinds of things.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to when the trade paperback comes out, just because I think you can really see my art improvement over the course of it. Because I'm 17 now, so it's been like a 2-year process, this whole book, and I think you can really see the improvement. And I'm really looking forward to everyone seeing the new pages that really just I think some of the pages, I'm really proud of all the work I've done in this book.
So this book largely came out during COVID. Did you get to enjoy at all going to sign at your local comic shop or any conventions or anything yet? Or is that something you're looking forward to?
Only very recently have I been able to start going out and doing things again. I think I did a mini convention in Bakersfield maybe a month ago. It was I think probably a month ago. But now I have a whole bunch of new conventions lined up for next year. Let me see if I have my list. I'm going to be at AwesomeCon in Washington, D.C. in August. I'm going to be at Unicon in Las Vegas in October. I'm going to be at the Bakersfield Comic Con in November. And I'm going to be at Comic Con Revolution in Ontario. And I think LA Comic Con and WonderCon as well. So I'm going to be all over the place this coming year, and I'm very excited. I think it's going to be really cool. But yeah, it's nice because now I'm finally going to be able to go out and start promoting this book. Finally.
Are you going to be part of the Scout booths? Is that how people should find you at those conventions? Or are you going to have your own table in the Artist Alley?
I think I know at Awesome Con I think I'm going to be at the Scout booth. I know I guess I'll have to, yeah, some of them I'm going to be at the Scout booth and some of them I'm going to have an Artist Alley booth, so I'll try to keep that updated on social media spaces where I will be so that people can find me. But yeah, I'm excited.
So do you identify with your character at all, or is this completely a character that acts and behaves differently than you would ever do it?
I think my protagonist Marie, I do think I share a lot in common with her. I relate to her a lot. I think much of her character does come from experiences I've had. But I think it's interesting because as I've gone through the process of writing this book, I think she has definitely become a different person for me. And I think that's really cool. And I think all of my characters, there's like a piece of myself in them, which is why I love them so much, because I connect with pretty much all of them in some way. But yeah, I really love all of my characters.
So what about Marie that isn't something that you currently have as a personality trait would you most want to have?
I think she, when the people she loves are in trouble, she can just really just, I don't know, she has she has a lot of strength inside of her, I guess. I don't know. Basically when things get really hard, she does have the ability to like go and accomplish things. Actually, this is making me sound really like I have strength as well. I can do things. I can do hard things. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I think Marie is very cool.
Going through a portal and having to use magic to save your friends. So
yeah.
Likely to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. But
so
yeah.
You've got the trade coming out for Soulstream.
Yes.
Are you likely to revisit this character, or you have something else planned you're creating already?
Yeah, I'm hoping to continue this story. I'm hoping to. I definitely am going to be making more comics, and yeah, I've been working on writing and drawing some stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Do you have your shirt on?
I do have my shirt on. I have my Soulstream shirt on. It is very good. I think you can buy it on the Scout Comics website. Hey.
That's what I love about Scout Comics. They've got it set up so that really no matter what you want from any of the comic books that they put out, you can find something to have in your possession, like the t-shirts, coffee mugs. I feel like they have everything, like shoes. Shoes for your favorite.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know we have the coffee mugs and the shirts and the sweatshirts and all the stuff.
So does it freak you out a little bit to see your work on things like that?
Not. I guess not really. I mean, it makes me happy to see my art anywhere, even if it's on my shirt. Wow. But it makes me really happy when people enjoy the things I make, and I think that is that's a big motivation for making art for me, as well as I want to be able to share it with people. And I'm really excited that through like the Simon & Schuster distribution deal and just everything that's happened, like I'm going to be able to get my story to a lot of different people, and that makes me really happy.
That's a big deal to be able to have it in actual bookstores. Yeah. Comic book stores are awesome, but their reach isn't anywhere near like when you get to the actual book market. So that makes a big deal. You're gonna have a lot of eyes on your work. Does it make you nervous?
A little bit, but I'm just excited that there's any possibility. Like there's the fact that there's such the possibility that people who will enjoy it will be able to find it just makes me really happy. And even if I mean, I know that not everybody's going to like it, but I'm okay with that because as long as people who do like it are able to find it, then yeah, that just makes me happy.
All right. So if you got to go, got invited to a convention anywhere in the world, where's the one it's just like that you could go? Weird glitch.
Yeah, that was yeah. So sorry, you cut out a little there. Was
saying no one can travel anywhere?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Mm-hmm. Have you traveled very much? Have you been overseas anywhere?
I've been overseas. I've traveled places. I don't know. My brain is freezing up just like my computer screen was about 5 minutes ago. Okay. But,
so, what part of the country are you from?
Oh, I'm in California. So.
No, are you guys experiencing the heat wave?
Yes, it is very hot right now. Yeah.
It's surprising to me. It's kind of as I was describing to my friends today that they were talking about how hot it was. Like it's 100. They're saying 106 where they are, which doesn't sound a lot to some people that live in the South. But I was explaining. I said, now you guys understand how we were feeling during the freeze.
Oh yeah.
You guys were like, going, that's not very cold. It's just like we just don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. Like our houses, all the pipes burst, and because we just don't have the same kind of insulation, all those kinds of things. It's the same for people that live in other parts of the country. They're not prepared for high level temperatures for long periods of time. It just like breaks everything down, and everyone buys up all the fans. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Have you seen images of like the fan aisle everywhere?
Wow. Yeah, yeah, I'm hoping that this all goes away soon. It is very hot outside. But
oh yeah. So did you go in person school during the shutdown, or did you stay at home?
No, I stayed home. Our school didn't. I'm not sure our school ever fully went back, but I mean, the way my school is set up, we were already doing much of it online anyway, so it didn't really disrupt that much. But yeah, I graduated about a month ago, so that was pretty cool. So I guess
I'm just going to finish school and get done.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna take a gap year this next year, and that's when I'll be going to all the different cons and stuff. So, and then I can go to college after that. So, yep.
Do you have a place you have in mind where you want to go?
I want to go to one of the state schools that has an animation program. I have a little list because I'd like to go somewhere where I don't want to go to art school because I want to be able to study all the liberal arts and maybe some sciences, and just I want to really be able to study lots and lots of different things. So I want to go to, I think, a state school that has an animation major, and then I'll do the animation major and learn some of that. And yeah, that's the current plan.
You're super brilliant, because I do see people that are super talented in arts. And I always explain to them, I was like, go get your art degree, but get a business degree backup or something else to do that. So you have something that puts it up, right? Because there's definitely involved in art.
Yeah, I'd like to learn. Sorry, what?
You have a fan on. Diane says, keep up the awesome work.
Oh, yay. Wow. Yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody, it's working. This is a totally open interview. You can ask questions, and you should. Hannah looks like she wants to ask something. It's my coworker. She's she's just hanging out. Okay. Oh my goodness. So, what is your, if you were going to write the next thing that was unrelated, what kind of genre are you thinking of?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I've been mostly focusing on ways to continue Soulstream, but I have been playing D&D a lot with my friends this last like several months.
Perfect.
And I've been just drawing D&D characters nonstop for like 3 months. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe something with that would be fun, but yeah, right now I'm just focusing on Soulstream. So
yeah, Wayne asked the same question that I just asked because everyone wants to know any plans to do another Soulstream. We're asking the same question.
Yeah, I definitely want to make lots and lots more comics. So looking forward to that.
Oh man. Where's the best place for people to follow you on social media that they can interact with you?
Yeah, I have a Twitter account and an Instagram account, and I think a Facebook page. So yeah, there are accounts that are at Soulstream Comic, and then I also have accounts at Saida Woolf. And I post updates about Soulstream stuff on there, on both of them. So yeah, that would be highly appreciated if people followed me on social media. Yay.
Okay, so crazy question time. I'm going to steal one from our producer, Kyle. You have the ability to have any nerdy vehicle in your garage. What is it?
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I have never once considered this.
Just limitless options, right?
Just limitless options. Maybe just like, man, I don't know. It would be cool to just have just like a car that just looks like really steampunk. Like obnoxiously steampunk. Just an obnoxiously steampunk vehicle that I could just drive around in. I don't know. That's the first thing I can think of.
That would turn a lot of heads, right? Because you don't see those.
There you go. Yeah.
Batmobiles are kind of dime a dozen, even though I can afford one. But yeah, it would be. Oh, see, the production team says OSV, obnoxiously steampunk vehicle.
Yep. There you go.
Joanne, who I'm guessing is related to you.
Oh, yes, I need my driver's license first. That's my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Mom, you've done so well.
Yay. I do need a driver's license first. I'm working on it. I'm working on getting that. Yeah.
Tell me something amazing about your mom.
She is she's so great because she's been very supportive through all this comic stuff. She helps me manage my some of my social media pages because I don't know how to use Facebook and she does. So
generation so much. Us old people don't know how to use anything else. The TikToks are kind of fun, but we don't know what we're doing.
But yeah, she was one of the she encouraged me to submit my comic to different comic companies, and that's how all of this started at the beginning. So I'm really thankful for her.
Does your mom an artist herself?
Not really, but but both of my parents helped me like edit my comic scripts, which was helpful. So that's always good. Make sure I don't have like errors in them and stuff.
Did either of them give you advice about like any major story arcs?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they have, but I can't think of anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of, or at least I can't think of anything that wouldn't be like a spoiler.
Oh yeah, we can't say those.
But yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got a food question. What is your absolute favorite food?
I just like anything that has like a tortilla involved anywhere in the process. So just like tacos or burritos or enchiladas. Or
do you guys have Torchy's tacos out there by chance?
Huh?
Do you have Torchy's tacos by chance out there?
No, I don't think we do.
I think it's a Texas thing.
Yeah, if you ever come down to Texas, we're taking you to Torchy's.
Wow. Yeah,
they make the most amazing tacos, and their taco like nacho cheese is like they're famous for it.
Wow.
Now I'm hungry, so hungry. So do you make your own like tortilla-based foods?
I guess I don't know.
Do you just make quesadillas?
Yeah, yes, that is something I just eat for lunch a lot. I'll just make a quesadilla and just eat it. So, yep.
I feel that. Being from Texas, anything that's based in a tortilla is also our favorite food.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh goodness. We're gonna wrap up. I don't want to wrap up because you're adorable and this is so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here.
Let's see. We already know where we're going to find you on social media. Definitely make sure to be following Saida on social media so you can find where she's going to be appearing at conventions. So you can go and actually meet her in person and support her by purchasing some of her wonderful work. We've got her trade paperback coming out. What is the date for the trade paperback?
I think it just came out on Previews World, and I think it was September 22nd on there. I'm not sure if but yeah, it's definitely sometime in the end of September is when it's coming out.
Absolutely. And the number one you can get from local comic shops for you very easily. It's a great book, and the price point is killer. I mean, it's $1.99. You can totally find $1.99 in the cushions of your couch and go and support young creators by going and finding a store that is carrying Scout and pick one of those up. Even if it's not for you, you're thinking to yourself, you know, I'm a beefy dude and maybe Soulstream's not my deal. Buy one and hand it off to someone you think it is. That's how you support comic book creators that it may not be your genre. Like if you only read, you know, war books, for example, buy one for somebody else. That's the way you work it out.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you. Hannah says she looked it up. September 22nd is the right date. So add it to your pull list, your local comic shop. Use comicshoplocator.com if you wanted to find one to get that added to your pre-list or pull list. And don't go anywhere. Up next is Dr. Christy Blanch. We're going to talk to her about all the millions of things that she's doing and continuing our Girl Power Hour. Thank you so much, Saida. I really
thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to reading all your future work.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Hannah's getting ready to show me something. I totally just stabbed myself in the chest. Look, there's blood. I've actually drawn blood. I have bled for Dr. Christy Blanch. You can write it down. It happened on this day. Welcome back to the experience. This is Talking Shop, and I am getting ready to talk to one of my really good friends. I'm so excited to see her. She never, ever stops working. She is the hardest working person I know in comic books, Dr. Christy Blanch.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing so good, except for the fact where I made myself just bleed.
Yeah, quit stabbing her. I'm having those issues too. I just keep...
I have bruises on the back of my arm that my husband found. I'm like, I don't even know how I got those.
It happens. Walking past the brick wall.
Yeah. Well, I tell people, I'm like, if you look at me real hard with this kind of peach skin, I will bruise from your looking at me hard. Stop.
Oh.
I really toyed around with doing this entire interview as Flint Sparks, but I not on myself. It would be fun. Anime Comics says hi, the doctor.
Hello.
So how is the shop doing? How is the shop doing right now? Are you guys in the part of the country where you're dying of heat?
It's hot, but I'm not going to complain too much because it's much hotter in like the Northeast and Portland area. So right now I'm cold.
You've got extra layers on.
Well, our shop is like really long. So for it to be cool in the front of the shop, it has to be cold in the back. So, and I am the only one here there's 3 people here all the time, and I'm the only one that gets cold. So I'm like, I'll just put on a sweater. Mm-hmm. We'll keep it, the normal temperature for you guys. Then I go outside and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying, Well,
so. I will just say that I'm a woman of a certain age, so I go from wearing 5 layers of clothes to wearing this.
Uh-huh.
Like having problems. Like,
that's what I have. Yeah, so I have layers all around, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you ever wondered why women of a certain age have like millions of layers, and then you were like, weren't you just wearing like 2 sweaters and now you're in like just a tank top? That's because bodies have betrayed us and have no idea what they're doing anymore.
In minutes, it will just change. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will. It
We
will.
catch on fire inside.
Yes, that's it. We just have that fire inside. Yeah. We'll just say that.
Is your shop have like normal traffic and stuff now? You're under
Yeah,
restrictions?
we're getting back to normal. We're still requiring masks. So we have, you know, some people with that, people yelling at us every so often. But my daughter not recently, she had a baby. And so she isn't vaccinated yet. So I'm just playing a little safe there with her and for her. So, and I kind of want to see how the July 4th weekend happens. So what happens right after that, then we'll make a decision. So, yeah. And then Philip Kennedy Johnson, we just talked to him today, and he's going to come do a signing. So
Lucky.
I know it'll be our first signing since the shutdown. So it's like, how do you think since the shutdown? So we're doing that, and I asked him. I said, "You still want masks?" And he said, "Yeah, because there's another nasty variant going around." And I said, "Okay."
Delta.
So we'll keep it going until then, and then after that, we'll make a decision. So people can just, you know, chill. We still do curbside. We'll still do delivery. We still will send stuff. You know, on Tuesdays we have appointment only. So if you're not comfortable with people, you know, it's like, you know, we just try and make it very easy for everybody, but except for people who want to yell at us.
I gave my staff kind of like, I hope, peace of mind, because they would be so stressed out. They were like, a customer really got mad at us today and yelled at us and told us they were going to give us bad reviews and things. And I was like, I give you permission to not care.
Yeah.
In that regard, if you've taken good care of them and been kind to them, and they still give you that kind of attitude, I tell you that I'm not going to be mad about it. So
yeah,
I think that helped him a little bit.
We had a guy yell at us and say, I have thousands of dollars to spend. And I'm like, sorry, you know, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You know, is it going to pay my daughter's health bill, you know, or
He's like, your money will not bring my staff member back from the dead.
Exactly. So, you know, and we have a few, you know, people who have, you know, issues. And so we're trying to just be safe. It's, you know, I have to wear pants out in public. So, you know, what's a mask?
Yeah. And I actually I've gotten to the point where I've spent enough money and time and energy into having masks that match my outfits and represent my nerddom. I'm like, I'm going to be sad when we don't have them.
Yeah, I got these. I mean, we have these like really cool ones now. And
yeah,
it's like, come on. They're awesome. I walked into a place yesterday that didn't require a mask, and I felt weird without one. It's a strange, because I never go anywhere. It's like I was all excited. I was just like, Jeff, did you know there's an Old Navy that's in Muncie? And he's like, yeah, it's been here like 5 months. I'm like, oh, I thought I was telling you something new. My daughter said, you don't leave, because I live above the shop. So it's like, you don't leave here. That's all you do. And I'm like, yeah, so.
Man. All right. So I'm pretty sure everybody that's would be watching this stream knows exactly who you are, but you're a very, very successful store owner, but also a very, very successful writer, creator, editor. You've got all your hands in the comic book world.
Trying anyway. We're getting there. We're clawing our way there little by little, you know. So yeah, it's and you
and a killer Kickstarter.
So much, but thank you so much for your support on that, because oh my gosh, in the video you made, super creepy. But I was like in tears. I was laughing so hard. I was like, this isn't so fun. I am not, nor have I ever been, a good boy.
A good boy. I did it with my own voice. I thought when I was doing it, I was like, what I've got such a deep, tenorous voice. I'm terrifying. And I went back and watched it with my voice. I was like, oh, heck no. No. This sounds like Mad Girl behind the mask.
I always think I don't sound that way. I'll go back and listen. I'm like, it's like listening to Mickey Mouse. I'm just like, oh, kids, look at the comics we have for you today. So I'm going to start talking like this all the time.
All right. So I had to actually beg Kyle and JD to please ruin your voice severely to actually do voiceover work for this, so I have to do what I want it to do.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But yes, we do have. Oh, I just have a box of them. So yeah, we had the Good Boy. This is the ash can that's out right now.
It's worth $1 billion. Look, they're just handling it like it's nothing.
It's so beautiful. It just, I have so many of these. They're beautiful. I did get the medal. I don't know what I did with it. We did the, oh, here it is. I went up to Source Point Saturday, and I got the artist proof of the medal cover thing. This is so from the Four Color Fiends, which I did my nails like Four Color Fiends. I will never do it again. It was so hard.
Okay. Explain Four Color Fiends. Is that like the group name that's behind the book?
No, Four Color Fiends is something that Garrett and I and a couple other people started because we just wanted to do some cool variants and have some people do variants that we think should be able to do variants on books that we love and with artists that we love. So this was our very first venture. We did a variant of the ash can. So and we did medals, double medals, all this stuff for our very first venture. So Four Color Fiends is what we've done there. Right now we have strings out. It's one that you can purchase. If you got one of the Good Boy variants, you got a Founding Fiend coin. So it's pretty cool. So it's just something that we're trying, and we've got a bunch of stuff. We've got some books coming out that people are going to really like, I think. There's some really cool artists, and we're just going to see what happens. We did We Don't Kill Spiders, which I'm really looking forward to that. We did that, our first crossover we did. That's what we did with Izzy's, just trying to figure out how the best way to work. So, Wayne, love your double medal. It is so awesome. I'd never seen a double medal cover before this. It's like metal.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So Garrett Gunn is one of the most innovative people I've ever met. Sometimes I'm like, calm down, Garrett. We can't do this, but he always finds a way. They do some of our ideas. They do say we can't do. Like we wanted to make collars. They're like, I do too. They're like, it'll cost too much, and I'm like, all right.
It costs nothing. You just get yourself a leather collar and make yourself a metal dog tag.
Well, we're probably going to make them. I mean, I made Good Boy one of my friends designed them. These Good Boy leggings are awesome. So, yeah, they're pretty cool. But there's all sorts of things. But we did get the coin. The coin was very exciting. When Garrett was like, design this coin. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, hey, it'd be really cool is if we made some of these. He's like, yeah, we're going to make them. And I'm just, I love for John Wick. If you don't know, everybody out there, Jen and I love John Wick. Like, we were already friends, and then we were like, John Wick, and then we just bonded. And so now it's just like we have this John Wick bond that will never be broken, ever, because it's John Wick, It's just ridiculous. I got a message today, and I'm on where you can get things texted to you, like highlight the little things that they have, to say. Well, I changed the number in it to John Wick, so it looks like I'm getting messages from John Wick. This morning I got one, and it was just like, consider this a professional courtesy. John Wick filming is, and I'm just like, John Wick sent me a message. It's so stupid. I'm like, how old are you? 5? Yes. But it was just like, it's just the stupid, it's the little things in life that get you through the day. So
I really honestly and truly have plans the next big con that I go to dress as Flint Sparks and pay for things with gold coins.
that's so awesome. When we went, when we got passes to see John McThree early. And so when I walked in, they had a table there to take your ticket. And I took a coin and I just put it across the table like that. And the lady said, "You need a reservation." And I said, "Only if I don't have a seat there." "Oh, you have a seat." She's like, "That's the coolest thing ever." And I'm like, "I know." And she gave me a t-shirt. My daughter's like, "How do you get all these things?" And I was like, "Because I love John Wick a lot."
The thing I want to know the most
Yes.
is whether Flint has a kind of continental kind of place that he goes to, and is it called the kennel or something?
No, but he does. He does, and you'll see that soon. You'll see that in this arc, or this bark, as I like to call it.
Oh,
Story bark. Garrett's like, "You're so weird." I'm like, "I know. That's why we're friends." Yeah, it's so good. It's such a fun story that I love comics that you have to make you think and are deep, but I also like comics that are just fun. And this comic is just fun. It's just 100% stupid fun, and I love it. And Kit's art. Kit Wallace is amazing. He is a star and does not know it yet. And he's like, "Oh, I guess I'd go get 5 pages done today." And I'm like, "Wait, excuse me, what? 5 pages?" He's brilliant. He comes up with things that just page 3 of the book. I love that page so much. As soon as I saw that, I was like, "This guy's a star." We're lucky to have him right now because he's just gonna blossom. And then Dave Lentz on letters it's like, I can't wait for people to get the whole book, because there's one page where it's like Dave just makes it just perfect. The letters are an entire different character. They're just another character. It's like so great. Dave is just awesome. The whole team are just stupid and fun, and we all like each other, and I think that's why it turned out so well. So, and we know that it's not writer or artist or letterer we don't have a colorist because this Kit does everything. But it's like we all have a say. It wouldn't be the same book if one of us left. It would be a completely different book. So, and that's what I love so much about comics is that it's that collaboration. It's not just, and it's fine for like books like Tom Zoller, Terry Moore. I love their books. They're brilliant, but I'm not that brilliant. I need some help here and there. So, yeah.
So for Good Boy, I'm pretty sure that I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess the origin story for Good Boy.
Okay.
Dr. Christy and Garrett Gunn, after a convention, had too much ice cream and or liquor, and were just shooting the breeze about some ridiculous idea, and it was born.
Well, not quite.
Oh!
There was some. It was at a convention. I was talking with Travis, and Garrett came walking over, like Garrett does. "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, we're talking about John Wick." Shocker, And he said, "Oh, I haven't seen it." And Travis and I just looked at him and went, you have to go away then. I said, "When you watch it, you can come and talk with the big kids." And he got so upset. I was just joking, He got so upset that that night he went home and watched all 3 of them. And he fell in love with it. Because just like I always say, it shouldn't work, but it works. Everything in it works. There are some scenes in there that are just the greatest storytelling. People want to say, "Oh, it's just so stupid." No, there's such great storytelling. 20 minutes into the first movie, there's one scene that tells you everything you need to know, and you don't need anything before that. The phone call. It's perfect. So then I get a message from him. He's like, "Hey, I have an idea. I want you to write this book." And I was like, yeah. And he's like, it's a reverse John Wick. And I was like, I'm in, let's go. He was like, you don't want me to tell you anything more? I'm like, he said John Wick. So I'm in. And then that was it. Then it was like, okay, so we just have our little Google document. We go back and forth, and sometimes I'll have this crazy idea, and he's like, we can't do that. He'll have a crazy idea, and we can't do that. Then we'll have ideas, oh, it's brilliant, you know. It's just really, Garrett is really fun to write with. You know, he's a great guy. He's wonderful. He's one of my best friends, and I feel so lucky that I get to write books with my best friend. So
He's a super dude. I'm telling you.
he's so funny.
So has Keanu's team found out that this exists?
I don't think so, as far as I know. I don't know. I know that Joe Hill, as you know, tweeted about his idea. I love your response. You were like, hey, no, call their agents.
Yeah. It's like, how about this? Ooh, yeah.
But both Garrett and I were like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that we launched this Kickstarter now. Because we had the book done. I mean, we actually had, I think, all 3 issues of the first arc done before the Kickstarter launched. And I was like, if he had tweeted that and the Kickstarter launched like the next day, it would have been done. You know, everybody would have said, oh, you're ripping Joe Hill off? You know, no. So we were just like, shoo, good timing. But it was.
You know what we should do?
What should we do?
Someone should talk to Joe Hill and have him write the dark version of it. If there's anything darker, like his, like have him write a backup to your story.
You know what? If Joe Hill wants to write a backup, Joe Hill, if you're out there, you are more than welcome to write a backup. So, and this is the first arc that we're doing is, very, you can see the John Wick in it. But then as we get into the next story arc, it deviates and we go into, it's our own thing. It's still got that John Wick feel to it, but there's still our little references, but there's also little Hot Fuzz references in there. You might see Yark. I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan also, so we got to get that in there. But it's basically our love letter to John Wick. The first arc is as you know, John Wick is my thing. That and what we do in the shadows, I'm good.
So when would people that did not get to enjoy supporting the crazy Kickstarter, which was the most fun I've had supporting a Kickstarter ever?
Right.
When can they actually get, like, when will it be able to be purchased from SourcePoint?
I believe October is when it's October, November, December is when it comes out in the comic shops. And did you see who our covers are by?
No.
This is insane too. So just the A and B covers, not incentive covers. The A cover is going to be Nick Bradshaw.
What?
And the B cover is Francesco Francavilla.
Oh, yes.
Right? How is this happening? Just the A and B covers, open order A and B covers. I'm just like, okay, awesome.
So wait, did they contact you guys? Did they see what was going on and said, I must do this?
No, Francesco, I would have Francesco do every cover of every book that I love Francesco's art. I love him as a person. I think he's, when Bob and I were doing Broken Gargoyles, he said, who do you want for a cover artist? And I'm like, Francesco Francavilla. He's like, he'll never do this book. I'm like, oh, he will. Because I know what he loves to draw, and I'm like, this is so up his alley. He's gonna love it. Yeah. So when I asked him on for Good Boy, he's like, oh yeah, I had so much fun on Broken Gargoyles. And Francesco just gets everything. He's brilliant. I always say I would love to see the world through his eyes because he has to just see it completely different. For Nick, we were trying to figure out who we wanted, and I suggested Nick, and Garrett's like, it's Nick Bradshaw. I mean, he's not going to do this book. And I was like, Nick's an awesome guy. This is a cool book. I said, I mean, he can say no, but I'll ask him. He's like, okay, you go ahead. And I was like, okay. Well, ask Nick. Wake up the next morning, and Nick's like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And so I call Garrett, and of course he's 3 hours ahead, and I'm like, "Call me as soon as you get up." So he thinks like something awful's happened, you know. He calls me, and he's on his way to the gym, and I was like, "Nick Bradshaw's going to do our covers." And it's the only time I've ever Garrett has been silent or speechless.
Was
He
he
didn't
trying to
say
figure out
anything.
if you were punning him or something?
Yeah, he was like, "No," and I'm like, "Yeah." So that was just such a cool moment because he loves Nick Bradshaw, and it was like so good. I love Nick Bradshaw too, but it's like he was just it's I can't. I'm like, these are like Marvel level like talents doing our little book, you know, just like the Kickstarter, our little book, you know, when we're just two teeny tiny people, and it went. I was worried we were gonna I'm like maybe we'll hit 10K, you know, I'll be happy with that. It just, and that last day, oh my gosh, we went from like 32 to 46. I don't even know. It was crazy in a good way.
I think that what we've learned from this is that people love your work and Garrett's work and Kim's work and want to support you. And that we have a lot of fellow fans of John Wick out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're always like, "You like dogs? You like John Wick? You like good stories? Here you go." You know,
Right.
it's just, it is fun. And one of the people who supported the campaign sent me a message and said, "I've read this Ashcan 30 times. I just cannot wait for this book." And I was just like, that makes me feel so good because, you know, I'll read it, you know, sit down and I'm like, just, you know, look through it and I'll giggle. I'm like, I know what happens. And I'm still like, look at this. How cool is this? You know? Oh, so it's just fun.
So where can people find you next?
Next, this is coming out actually Wednesday. Like tomorrow, is it Wednesday?
So I got so distracted by Good Boy. I so apologize.
I know. Oh, trust me. Every conversation I have, it comes back to Good Boy, and it's like, you know, those memes going around. Like, if somebody kidnapped you? Why would they bring you back? Because I talked about Good Boy for 10 hours straight. You know, that'd be it. and then, you know, I'm like a little kid. But this comes out Wednesday. This is Bob Sally, and we had a plethora of artists on this first issue. We had Mike Lilly, Stan Yak, Ken Perry, and then we had our colorist Nugent and Justin Birch on letters. Bob did the first arc of this book, just the regular Broken Gargoyles, which I loved. I thought it was great. Then he asked me if I would write the second and third arc with him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes!" So I got to write some really great characters, create some really, really cool, strong female characters, and this terrible doctor that is so horrible, and I love him so much, and I hate him at the same time. And Bob and I just, you know, this was Bob's baby, but he let me in on it, and so it became our little baby. And again, Francesca Francavilla. I mean, it just does. This cover is so great. And oh yeah, it's going to have the Virgin cover of this, which I'm very excited about, just because I just love Francesco's art. I think he's just brilliant. So yeah, that's coming out Wednesday. If you haven't read the first, I fought for this part. If you haven't read the first arc, there is a little catch-up page right here. Not catch-up. It's a mustard read.
Synopsis.
Yeah, little synopsis right here of the main things that happen that you need to know to read this book. So you don't, if you miss the trade, which you shouldn't because it's really good. That's like $10. But you can read it without knowing. There's 3 issues, and then that's the end of this arc. And then next year will come, or is it later? No, it's later this year. Whoops. Later this year, the last part of the story will come out. So it's going to be 9 issues overall. And I'm helping with 4 through the end. So it's not fun. It's darker. Sometimes Bob would send me messages, "You're really messed up," when I'd send him pages, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know," because it really
Read your other work, right?
That's I said you did read Charlie, right? Because that was pretty dark.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. So, but it was a completely different experience, from writing. And I was writing them at the same time, so it's like, oh, happy. Oh, what can I do to this guy next? So it's been really fun with both of them and both of the stories, and you can't really get more different than Bob and Garrett. But they're both amazing. And I'm really, this kind of just snuck up on me, the release date, because I've been in Good Boy Land I'd never done a Kickstarter before. This was my first one. So on the very first day when it launched, Garrett sent me a message that morning and said, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to be out all day today. I've got to drive my kids to my parents, and there won't be like cell coverage and all that. So you're going to have to handle all of the social media." Garrett, I haven't done this before. I don't know what I'm doing. So it was 21 days of just, stress. What are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? And we kept hitting all of our levels, so we had to keep coming up with new levels to add. And Garrett's so brilliant in that. He just, like those mystery crates.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck?
I don't know.
I know. It's like, what are we putting in them?
Blocks and don't tell me what's in it. I'm like, I must have it.
Yeah. It's a mystery box.
Yeah.
I was just like, can I get one? And then I'm like, how would we deliver them? And he's like, we'll just go on a tour. And I'm like, okay, I'm super busy. Don't know how I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I just imagine us in a, like the Dumb and Dumber van, the dog, sticking our heads out the window, driving along.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting, but we're going to come see you. So
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's very exciting.
Right. We have to wrap it up, man.
I know. We talked about
the title keeps popping in. He's like, Miss Jen. I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm only cutting into my own showtime, so it's all right.
Has it been an hour? Oh, no. Oh, okay. I looked at the live thing. You were an hour before that. I can't get the trailer you made and load it up from here.
Oh, he must be traveling, so he can't load it. Otherwise, we would end it with the trailer that we made. We'll play it on the experience. Definitely subscribe to the experience. At some point,
yes,
we'll post it up so you can also be disturbed mentally by the ridiculousness of the Good Boy ad that we put together.
But it is awesome. So Good Boy will be out then. Bob and I are really proud of this book. If you did not get it from your LCS, you still can. You can still tell them, hey, I want that. We didn't get on, SourcePoint didn't get on FOCs until I think July, so we missed that little cutoff. FOC makes all the difference in the world. So it's like, dang it. But we'll have plenty. So I think you guys will all be pleased with it. I think you'll like it. The art in it is terrific. I would buy it just for this cover, but the words are good too.
All right. So remember, you got to go to Oh Yeah Muncie to get your virgin copy of the cover of that book. So don't miss out getting it. Go support the LCS that supports the creation of these wonderful things.
Yeah.
Where can they find it? If they wanted to go and find your shop, what?
We're at on Facebook, and let's see, Facebook. We're at Oh Yeah Comics Muncie. We're at Comics Muncie on Instagram, which I'm terrible at, and on Twitter we're Oh Yeah Muncie because we didn't have enough letters that we could put in there, so we're just Oh Yeah Muncie. And I'm at Christy Blanch on pretty much everything. So. And our show, What We Do in the Comic Shop.
Yes.
So, which we have to do at 7. So, Next.
I'll let you go prep.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
know
get
how
down to
that
doing
is.
the things. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you in person.
I know it's going to be so nice. We're getting there. Close.
We'll go and do ridiculous things together with that dog head.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I'm so wearing the dog
You
head.
guys start thinking about all the shenanigans we can get into at the next convention because I'm
Okay.
down to do all of them.
Oh, I am too. I'm so ready. I never thought I'd miss conventions. I'm always like, oh, another convention. Now I'm like, oh, I need a convention. So, yeah,
Me
it's
too.
been great.
All
It's so
right,
good
thank
seeing you.
you.
Stop stabbing yourself with things.
Yeah, I will try.
Okay.
No promises.
Thank you for having us. Me and Garrett and Bob. They're always here, like on my shoulders, like say this. So yeah, well, thank you so much for having us. And yeah, everybody follow the EXP. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
All
Jen.
right.
We'll see you soon.
You guys, in a couple of minutes, I'll be back on the EXP with too much Gen Day. We'll just
Never too much Jen Day. Bye.